why. This is a special report.
Thanks for joining us on CBS 2 News for this special report. I'm Cindy Hsu. Governor Cuomo has been on the scene surveying the damage and getting briefed on the explosion in Chelsea. He's speaking right now. Let's listen in.
Everybody knows there was an explosion on West 23rd Street. There's significant property damage on both sides of the explosion. 29 people were injured. That there were no fatalities is something to give thanks for today. Because when you see the amount of damage, we really were very lucky that there were no fatalities at the time. We just inspected the subway station, the PATH station in the immediate area to see if there was any damage done from the explosion to the subway station, the tunnels, etc. And we're happy to report that there was no damage, so the MTA is ready to be up and running as early as tomorrow to return to full service for those stations. There may be certain entrances and exits that are closed depending on where the investigation is at that time, but we will keep you up to date on that. There is, I've been briefed by all the relevant agencies. At this time, there's no evidence of an international terrorism connection with this incident, but it is very, very early in the investigation, and it's just starting. The FBI has brought the evidence that they've collected from the site of the explosion, as well as the bomb that did not detonate, and they brought that to Quantico, and they'll be studying that. There was also an incident in Seaside Park, New Jersey. They're also taking that material to Quantico to review that material also. I spoke with Governor Christie this morning, and we're coordinating resources between New York and New Jersey to see if there's anything we can learn. The main coordinative mechanism is something called the JTTF, the Joint Terrorism Task Force, and that's up and operational. But the bombs that were in Seaside, New Jersey appear to be different than the ones that were in Manhattan. As I mentioned, the response by the first responders was extraordinary. You know, you drill all the time and you run exercises all the time, but it's still different when it happens. I spoke to Mayor de Blasio. The NYPD did a great job. The FBI has done a great job. Homeland Security, New York State Police, Fire Department, everyone really worked together and is coordinating on the investigation. We have no reason to believe at this time that there is any further immediate threat, but just to err on the side of caution, we will be deploying close to an additional 1,000 New York State Police and National Guard people to police the bus terminals, airports, and subway stations. Again, just to err on the side of caution. And I want New Yorkers to be confident when they go back to work on Monday that New York is up and running and we're doing everything we need to do. And I feel comfortable that this additional deployment will help do that and is prudent on this occasion. The bottom line on this is, number one, whoever placed these bombs, we will find, and they will be brought to justice, period. You have the finest police agencies in the world when you come to New York. And we will find who planted these explosives, and they will be punished. Number two, we will not allow these type of people and these type of threats to disrupt our life in New York. That's what they want to do. We're not going to let them do it. This is freedom, this is democracy, and we're not going to allow them to take that from us. So, feel safe, everything that needs to be done is being done and more. And we're going to enjoy New York, and we're going to go back to work tomorrow just like we do on any Monday morning.
Clarify, Governor, what devices were taken to Quantico? There was a tissue cooker, and then there was a device in the dumpster. As far as you know, were they both sent to Quantico? We were told they were sent to Rodman today.
The evidence that is now being gathered is going to Quantico. I believe the Seaside Park bombs are en route to Quantico. The unexploded device from New York may not yet have made it to Quantico. I'm not sure.
What do you know about right here at 23rd? We know that there was that pressure cooker.
They were both similar in design. But let's let the FBI do their investigation. Again, this is very early. They're just getting the devices. They're just starting the investigation. So once we get the investigation, we'll have all the facts, and then we can speak intelligently.
Governor, Mayor de Blasio said last night that there was no evidence that this was connected to terror. What are you hearing?
I believe the mayor was saying there was no connection with international terrorism, and that is correct. No one has taken credit. There have been no international groups that have put out any statements that are connecting them with this action. Now, it depends on your definition of terrorism. A bomb exploding in New York is obviously an act of terrorism, but it's not linked to international terrorism. In other words, we find no ISIS connection, etc. But a bomb going off is generically a terrorist activity. That's how we're going to consider it, and that's how we will prosecute it also. But the mayor's correct. There was no link at this time, at this preliminary stage, to international terrorism.
So, Governor, this could still be a lone wolf act similar to the Boston Marathon. Could be, because we just don't know. We know there's been no international terrorism organization that has taken credit, but we don't know. I've been in the federal government. I've been through a number of these incidents. You know, you can guess, you can hypothesize, or you can just wait for the facts and go from there. So we know what we know at this point, and I'd be dubious about speculating on what we don't know.
All right, guys.
Tell us about your feelings when you first got there, Governor. Could you talk about your feelings when you first saw the devastation that happened 2 hours away? What was the first thing going through your mind? What did you see? What was your emotion like?
Well, look, as governor of New York, this is my worst nightmare, right? My worst nightmare is the phone rings late at night and there's some terrorist attack, emergency, flood, hurricane act of Mother Nature that puts lives in peril. So this is the nightmare scenario, or one of the nightmare scenarios. And your mind immediately goes to, was anyone hurt? Was anyone killed? And luckily, depending on how you look at it, 29 injuries, but no fatalities. And when you see the damage, I think we were fortunate that there were no fatalities. And when you see the site itself, it just confirms that. This was a significant amount of damage. The property damage on both sides, but the force of the explosion, you can see it down the block. It was across the street. There's glass everywhere, shrapnel everywhere. So that we didn't lose anyone, we were fortunate. And then the second response is, we're not going to let them win. We're not going to let them win. What do they want? They want to instill terror. That's what they want. They want to make you afraid. They want to make you worry about going into New York City or New York State. They want to make you worry about going across a bridge or a subway. We're not going to let them instill fear, because then they would win. So we have the best response team on the globe. It's here, it's working. The best protection team on the globe. On the side of caution, we'll be adding close to an additional 1,000 National Guard and state police, just to make sure people know that we're on the scene and we're on the job. And life will go on in New York just the way it did the moment before the bomb exploded. We're not going to let them win.
Governor, are you saying that the two devices were similar in nature here at 27th Street?
Not that I know of.
Are you saying that the one here was a pressure cooker similar to 27th Street?
That is my advice. That is my knowledge and what I've been informed. But obviously that bomb detonated, so there's only pieces of it. And I would wait for the FBI to do a full analysis before I come to any conclusions.
And New Jersey, are you saying, is not similar?
My information, again at this preliminary stage, is the devices were different. They were basically pipe bombs that were used in New Jersey. Different bombs were used here. But the FBI will do the analysis. I spoke to Governor Christie this morning, and we'll have our teams working together to see if there's anything they can learn one from the other.
All right, guys.
Say that again, I'm sorry?
Can you talk for two things? Can you talk about the search to find the suspect or suspects, whether they're using surveillance video or anything like that to find placed either one of these bombs? And then second of all, can you just give a little bit more specifics on the commute for tomorrow morning? Should New Yorkers expect to be able to use the 23rd Street entrances by rush hour or when?
They are reviewing all the videotape from the area now to see if they can identify a person. Obviously, all agencies are coordinated in this investigation and in this manhunt. As I said, we will find whoever did this or whatever group did this, and they will be brought to justice, period. And we're going to dedicate all necessary resources to do that. And you're dealing with the best police agencies on the globe in doing that. As far as opening the 23rd Street station tomorrow morning, as we mentioned before, it is structurally safe, it is structurally fine. Some of the entrances are in the crime scene right now. So we'll have to see how the investigation proceeds throughout the day, and if the FBI reduces the crime scene and releases those entrances. But we'll make that information on the Transit Authority website, exactly what entrances and exits will be open as we get information through the day.
Do you expect the station itself to be open?
Yes.
What's going on with them? Where are they?
I have only the information that you have. Most were treated and released. There may be several who have not yet been released. Several were serious injuries, but no fatalities. But I have no new information on that. From people who were in that area when the bomb exploded and got hit with glass or debris, etc. Okay?
Governor, have you heard any connection made to the Central Park IED that injured a man?
No.
Also, NYPD is holding a press conference with the mayor in a few hours. Why are you hearing there?
Well, we wanted to give you an update on what the state was doing and the MTA and the subway stations, etc. I spoke to the mayor this morning, and he'll give you an update on what the city is doing, and that's the way we normally handle these situations. Just so you don't think I am very responsive to your question, all 29 victims are confirmed and released from the hospital. So that is really good news. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Governor, can you take one question?
All right. We have been listening to Governor Cuomo give us the latest on the explosion in Chelsea that happened last night at 8:30. He says he confirms that 29 people were injured, but they have all been treated and released. No fatalities is the very good news. Also, no evidence, he says, that there's a link to international terrorism, but he does say this is early in the investigation, so that can always change. Now, as far as transit, they have investigated the subway and PATH trains and find there is no damage, so the lines that were shut down will be open as as early as tomorrow. No immediate threat to our area, but the state is going to be deploying 1,000 additional National Guard and state police. And he finished up saying that whoever did this will be brought to justice. Thank you so much for watching CBS 2 for this special report. For more updates on the explosion, head to cbsnewyork.com and WLNYTV.com. I'm Cindy.
From CBS 2 and WLNY, this has been a special report.